would like your attention here, and I want to say a few words before I call on Steve Hendrickson to come out. But I'd like Noreen to come up here as well, and Sophie Marvin, if she would come forward to at least, well, represent their platinum symposium, or Albert. Maybe you can just come up here and sit. Yeah. We don't want you to feel, talking to people the way you're sharing with one another. Your
guidance on how to do that properly and even if we should be doing it at all. I also wanted to mention that in the museum we have Pat Montgomery and Mark Dottie all.
Okay, yesterday we had Sam Newman on when the lights went out on the celebration, 9th of June. Went out for a while. So what we have, we brought out some of the terms that rested on At.óow, and obviously we don't have sitting around the table. Maybe we might be better face.
Thank you for coming here to listen to us as we present our At.óow. Awesome. I just wanted to stand and see Nora. These are my dad's people, and this is all the original, the proper way to do it. And my Connie, Mrs. White, relative, who was my Uncle Joe's. He was married into the Coho family, and also Albert Davis, who was the head man of the Coho. And I would like to just honor them for being here. And I was looking around among you to see if there was a same time. This is the time to tell where your roots come from. I'm talking about myself and my son, and my Uncle Joe has passed on. My mother, Paget, and my grandmother, At.óow. If you're here, they can show to us if we want to, but I'm chichi, yes, you each has my grandmother, who was Anna White. Her father's people were the Kiksadi, the frog people from Sitka, and I would like for she represents my grandmother's father's people. So at this time, and my husband, my children's father, my late husband, so do Shanshia Ish, right here, from Plakwan. I'm thankful for you also being here this morning. And at this time, I can't go into detail of our At.óow that is represented here. But first, the blanket that I wear, my Uncle Joe White Pascu, who were Nagaz. He's the one who said, I have put out enough money at big memorial doings, potlatch we call today. So many thousands of dollars already was put in this blanket that I to the people when it was finished. People, I believe his name was Peter Johnson from Huna. He's the one who did the blanket, and he painted it Agan Yetke, and I will go into that. Agan Yetke. Ye all had to do a cup. At.óow joy now you are huge, Yakuyodri, just there had been a war. And there was an all, I would like to mention my dad, James Sealaska. He was the head man from the Raven House in his time. And he was a Shamutediya, he was one of our tribal members' son. And so he did not want our stories to be lost, because I'm not 80 years old, or 90 to know all these stories. But to make sure we knew it, him and my Uncle Joe White, Pascu, and Annie White, Connie. Connie is somebody who married into your family, either gender. So they got her, he was a high liner, first gainer, when he was always a high boat. So he had the reel-to-reel tape that my father, my mother, Tom Jimmy, the late Tom Jimmy, and At.óow. They put the songs together with the story. But I was told the story about Padanyake from the time I can remember repetitively, so I won't forget. So I wish I could tell the whole story. Like I started, there had been a big war and there wasn't anyone left, but there was only 2 women out of our clan. Kapustina was our first name. They hid up in the hole of a tree, a big tree, where they saved him and his young daughter, very young daughter. And every day when they walked around in their village, there wasn't anything left. Everything was taken. The enemy had killed off everyone. And every day this lady was almost like a prayer. She would go out. It was a heart's cry. The clan is going to die off. There's no one to. Her cry was, "Who to marry my daughter?" Who to marry my daughter? To take her hand. And in her heart she cried out, the big spirit above us, be with us, look upon us. And this went on for days and days. And some animals came in a form of a human. There was the big bear who came. I heard your cry. How is it going to be if I take your daughter's hand? I wonder what you have to give to show me that you're going to take good care of my daughter. Dear one, or honorable person, or respectable man. And this man said, I will show you. The day after, the hole around where they were staying now, they made their own place where they could stay. They could walk out in the open now. The enemy has left. And it would be all torn up around them. And she knew. It's a brown bear that's trying to make himself become like a human to take my daughter. Tag, I see that the man came back. Tag, who to marry my daughter? Every day. I don't know how many times a day. And finally, there was other squirrel, the same thing, and different animals came. Finally, this one day, they were in their dwelling. There was a ray of sun that came in through, and she thought the sun has come out. And she looked, where is it coming through? They're still hiding. And right in the sunlight was a young man. And he had fringed clothes on. show me? And this man said, when the sun comes out and the water begins to boil and I'm shining, then when I feel I'm strong. And he said, you mean I wanted to eat up from the tiny jobs that it would boil, just my thought would make the water boil. And the sun, At.óow. When you're so cold, the sun can warm your heart. And then he left just as fast as he came in the ray went with him, the sunlight. And she thought about it. Katun, the mother, I wonder where this young man came from. He is a nice young man. The next day they had seal, they had help, they had everything they needed around their house, and they got busy king salmon. This is really wonderful. It's just like as somebody sent us all these food we need. They got busy and worked. And this went on until they prepared all their food. So this story goes on and on. And when the time came for him to come again, the same way the sunlight came through them, just like this is shining on here, there was this young man again. It's me who has given you all the food you needed. The sun blanket. The mother said, stand up, it's all right with me, go with him. And that man informed them, you see this ray of light, tell her to step onto it. And when they stepped onto it, the mom put his hand into her daughter's hand. Just like the blinking of your eye. They were gone, not to be seen anymore. And that's as far as the story goes about the dear mother. And in the meantime, they were somewhere in this son's house, the man from the sun. It was a neat dwelling. And he taught his children. His children grew up to be men. They had one daughter, 7 sons, 8 children. And the time came for them, and the story, I'm going into detail, I'm taking too much time. But the story goes, this man taught his young men what to do, how to bathe yourself, and how to take care of yourself. He taught them the morals of life, how to live with other people. And so, when the time came for them to come, they said they were in a big basket. A basket that was enough to hold 8 people. And today, when I see these balloons going up in the air, I think I see them in a different way. I would say to myself, perhaps that's the way they were. They were being lowered, because to each their father informed them. If you are afraid at any time, pull on the line. They said there was a line to the big basket. The song. We have a song that goes with this blanket, and we use it at our chants when my mom passed, Uncle Joe passed on. We use it even for the smallest member of our clan. If they pass away, we have to use 4 chants of the opposite people. The ravens come up with 4. And my son David is going to just give 1 verse, or we could use 2 verses.
like this. Ich lebte ich lebte
War no more. The first verse.
Ich lebte
War no more.
ich lebte klingt jetzt
War no more people, human beings.
Ich lebte
Children were missing their, he knew they were going to miss him, so the second verse is, cry no more.
klingt jetzt
Cry no more, people, I hear you. The human beings will hear you. The basket was being lowered. They had one thing, a sun blanket was in that basket, and they had a gun cage. So you had the sundog in there also. At.óow, so something you see like Rexall, they had that in there too. I don't know what it was made out of, you know, the kind of grinds and things was in that basket. At.óow, it was and then the children, they didn't go very far. Their sister got nervous, pulled the line. Soon they went back up. The father asked, what is, she said, they have swords coming up to us from the earth. And he said, don't worry yourself. That's the fur of the land, meaning, you know, the trees. She was frightful, like any woman would be, I suppose. They called her on. And so they tried again. And the next one was clouds. They said it's on fire. She pulled the line again and they would go up. And then the third one was the wave, the wind. It was blowing so hard she cried out, Achish, Achish. I remember what you said, we will pull on the cord. You're going to be with us, Achish, Father, be with us right now. And they went up. He said, there's water boiling under us. We're going to be cooked alive. And the father calmed her down and said, no, daughter, that's just the water. The water is the waves. The waves come out on the ocean, so just feel free. Finally, they made it down after this was the last thing that happened to them, and then they even told them how to build how to make the first longhouse. That's why we have hit the house that was lowered down. And how to make a fort. So in our culture, in the whole Tlingit culture as a whole, they used to build forts. And so they built, you know where they lowered them? Dry Bay. From way back, our people called themselves, Kagwantan was just not too long ago. We were all, Eagle clan was to take Kuknu Kede. I was told this by my grandfather, my father. Only when you're going to individualize, when you're going to perform, then you're separate clans. I thought And after they built their house, they said these people never died. They never buried them. They would go into the woods and they were gone when the time came. So we have a blanket here. And the son's children's blanket. say, gonna change.
So what we're really attempting to do here now is to gather information behind these artifacts so that our young people can know. And I want to make something very clear, because in this day and age, what's happening among our people that are really excited about the art and the culture and the traditions, we would just ask you not to reproduce any of the things that you may see up here, because they have a lot of value to us. This blanket, this jacket, I want you to know, this white one here, this white bear, who's bear? Could you shine on this bear here, black? Is of the Shankuke decops. That's our blanket. That was totally I hit, and that was what Mrs. Joe White made for our clan. And the late Frances Smith came to us and asked us if she could make one of those. And yesterday I saw that come out with the people from Plattlong. But I want to make it very clear that this actually belongs to us. It's like our grandchildren had At.óow. And just like I'm a killer whale child, see, I'm a grandchild. I have this killer whale thing on my neck here, but that doesn't mean I own it. I don't own this. This belongs to my grandfather's people. It's not mine. And it's not mine to sell, because okay, somebody from the other family can respond. No, we don't have the time too much. So from the Raven side, you can respond to this, or you can do what you prefer.
When I change, At.óow yate, akane, akhoktatran, akhishas yabikine, akhikas, when I change ha, yate, yab wasatine, yastu At.óow, yakaniyan, akhokas. Kutsu tahayu haji tayu at yedu asa khan kushtuo ko khan hayu sitte ayu yasen dukhayne ayu haj akawa kadukka afadiya westu sa tepusiti yata awa akautrishi awa washe ye ayuka yakha dud awo akasha kaka lahi utiye ituwo lekat an kini kahaw takane yu ayu shukautrishi kushtuwo taka shukana kuhoye awaka Khasitin ha thinkit ani ustere sha ya hate sha an kashako ayu ata tuwane yasha ataya shukawhiho aksa ayahu ziti ya duwalo ya ik ya dosatun kapapeti tafa Shadat an kashako awayu yusha awa ayatakuwane ataksa ayatuyaka tet tusaye yateshi tanha satiya kayaha ina pas hada chankiyanaya sa jibite aya ahtuyate khasatine akane yayatuwa kaade yiksiya ye kai si e ka kanya khatu panu ki tundatane ya ka ya khatu ya ye khatu ki ko architect the kadovan ye hawati kunati
I can't see your faces out there. You got me blinded out. President, with my cousin, my niece, matter of fact, Sophie Mark. This is kind of a surprise. I didn't expect to be on this panel. I came here to see what the younger generations are doing now. As you might say that I'm on my last visit. We are the cohort. We are part of the cohort. Sophie and I, we belong to the branch At.óow branch of the cohort. You know, as I sit there this morning, this is all ravens. But have you ever seen a more sober ravens in your life? I can hear Austin. He's asleep now. He's not, he's snoring. Originally, we are not from Sitka. It's our adopted town. We come from up there northwestward. The plain, they call the At.óow Bay. That's where we are from. We are one of the clans that came under the nation. Our first settlement was in the Aztec. That's where we first settled. That's why there is a lot of people, a lot of couples in the Aztec. But we stood up as we moved. Our part family moved to the At.óow Bay. And we are still. Even up to the early 1900s, there were still people living there. Charlie Joseph was the last family to move out of the At.óow Bay. When I go there, I can still see the corner post of some of the houses that were built. When we moved to Sitka, one of our town members married a woman from Cape. So when we lost it, we made put out a apartment. 1887. My town had a apartment in Sitka. My sister had he used to visit me quite often. So when they lost him, they didn't want the name to be lost. So they they call me Sealaska. My original name is At.óow, my mother's. But after I took over the clan, I got the name, who stood it up. There was such time that I go by now, who stood it up. I'm proud of my clan. I try to teach them as much as I can. Every chance I get, I talk to them about our clan. He knows. He knows. I'm very thankful. As I said, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect it. But nevertheless, thank you very much.
Well, let's change to each one of you. Thank you for showing up and sharing this time with us. I too came this morning to learn, and David asked me, very graciously asked me to share some of my thoughts with you. My name is At.óow. I'm Raven of the Kiksadi clan in Wrangell. And I think it's wonderful that we have this opportunity to learn of our At.óow, our tribal belongings, our objects of honor. My grandfather's name was Mananasti Tomukas of Wrangell, and he is trained as a historian and the legend keeper of our tribe, Kiksadi tribe in Wrangell. And being raised by my grandparents, I felt very fortunate to be able to hear and learn many of the stories of our history and the migration of our peoples throughout southeast Alaska. Of my particular clan, the Kiksadi, migrated down through the Stickeen River, and as they emerged out from under the ice, they saw a frog waiting there to greet them. And from that, they adopted the frog as their emblem and carved a huge likeness of this frog, which was towed with their canoes as they traveled to find their home. My particular clan settled on the southern part of Wrangell Island, and at that time it was a huge, huge village. My grandfather told me that the light from all of the campfires that were lit along the shores would just light up the water. There were so many people at that time. A decision was made that they would divide. The village was so huge. And there's a beautiful song I remember hearing that was sung as that decision was made. The families parted. Some of the people choosing to go with their uncles, some choosing to go with grandfathers. And as they left in the canoes, one of the lead canoes would point their paddles, some going south, some going north, some going west. So they spread. And it's always been very special to me to know that we have our clan relatives. We have many in Cape, Sitka, they're spread out. And it's always a real joy to me to get to meet those relatives and get to know that we came from the same source, we share the same family. What David has asked me to do is to share with you the Kiksadi hat that you see here on the table. It's a very, very old hat that was lost to the Kiksadi of Sitka for a long time. Many of our artifacts, as you know, were taken away and were lost to us. They're showing up all over the world, in Europe, in Russia, in the South 48. So this particular hat was lost to the Kiksadi people for a long, long time. A decision was made a few years ago by the Sealaska Heritage Foundation, the Kootenai Central Council, and the Kiksadi family in Sitka to begin a search to try to locate this chief's hat, this Kiksadi hat. And I think it was one of the great joys to our people that we were able to locate it and secure it and bring it back where it belongs here in Alaska with our people. The price that was paid for this hat to bring it back made it such that it was published in Guinness Book of Records as the most expensive hat on record. $60,000 was paid, but in my mind, that has no meaning, the dollar. It has no meaning in the value and what it brings to us today, to that time, to understand and to realize the significance of that particular hat and the emblem is particularly dear to us that belong to the Kiksadi brand. I'm sorry there is not some people from Sitka who would undoubtedly give you more detail history of the hat. But I'm happy that I could share these thoughts with you and bring this to your attention so that you can learn and share in the wonder and the beauty of the culture of our people. Namaste.
I'd like to say about the one telling all this story. This is what I like to see, my friend. Yesterday I was talking to all thinking. We try to show everything to learn from each other. Annie Kapsik, she is my grandpa's daughter. So she called me Dad. My name, Gunhakawakal. That's her father's name. Right now what they're talking about, what they have here. My roots go into that too. This is what I used yesterday. All the trees all over, all different trees. One tree, the roots go from there to that. Another one comes from all over. Right now it's showing. This one she's got here. My roots go into that code because that's my great-great-grandfather. And I know some stories about it. I'm proud of it, and the God took care of it, and his son. This is what we got to do to teach each other how we are related to each other. This is the reason why I'm talking about to have this here for our children, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren. This is my feeling. I'm getting old. Sometimes when I stand up, I stack it around then I stopped walking. Right now, I was so proud to be here with all and the cats that got you brought it out. For the cheese, that's come. It is hard to talk about thinking way back, but when we put it away, covered, not to show to the others. Some people, they don't understand what I try to do. Some of them, they talk to me. It isn't right. We're not going to get paid. How are we going to let our children know about the story and our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, they need it. Right now, my sister, she's putting it down some of the word. I like to see everything to come together from all of us. We gather from different places. Put our word together. I wish I could put my feeling in you. Ki dadach tu lucha, I tu yewete. Takapye te hafingit kostiye. Ate ti ya idadakata khatamke. Ya kote ayet kaya te khite kakan. Ate ka ya خايو تودك سكتخ قستيه أخير كخاو ستي كون كاز تخيل خوخ سكوش كخليك كيكا شيت كاتخ جم ديوة تدو ساكن خاصوين خيت شيت كاتخ هو تخيل خوخ سكوية خلين قطعان نياتين يتركي خيام أجوي دت لخطار خاين دخل خاها يا كتكنيك كتنيك تلكون كالسها دق واشتكتن سنة خطة كتخاط سكوه واسي كوهايه واسي وستخاكو تهايه أجايا دايت خالنا ين خطيت يخطيك تخل خاصتي تخيل تخليك يا إذا تتكوى يا كخليك يا ناكي حصايخ ستي تشكوى نخ يطلع خخص ستي أخكاك قيا كن خاقة وكان أتشيت أعطيك نستيج خوش تيو أجوه يا تبقى خطوتي قيسان دانسس قيسان آن يوتا وصا أيضا يخاطن يسبيا تبكى يا يتدوى سهانا خاطي يوم نتوقع تين ويه سواتخا يسقى كتتاي توتنك وقويك أتخو دوائك كيسنان أقايا تخيل قاروات تستعدوه واسق شيئا تتاك تقا وشاب قوس استعى وأخ أقايا وسعود ساك أخواسك تشقق قليل أخوة أجود كجد على توأويا قاقوت لتاك تكتو يبدا يانا ليلة تخيخا أخا وشاب كاخا تكوشتين إذا كان عاصم جدا تقيد تسكت أجيو تتسني هاتي يس يلتيس تقيتخ ya kay sana nito wasako achaya hat khati chaya tanke kaksini kya achoy yai tat kastewaitu atudek sekata yana ki singatuye sok chiskat skut kachiskat kay kayayati usnakakaw tahayin achaya kastewaitu atudek sekata ayuhanas yai tat hekatan koto atanya yakaka natke akhaya tunak sikat akhustiye ajoy yaitat atay akhatay kanaki takab yahan ye ayitsu ushtak shanisha atitsakaw siyato aye idachkanchotat koksako kayakritat koksako ajoy tayo chakhana. All the things I try to bring it out, my friends, some of them they don't understand how we are related to each other. This is my work. We're doing now. I've been working on it, trying to tell everything what we have. Like the blanket, mine is going. That's the reason why my grandfather used to use that tree. All the roots gets together from all over, hold each other. Let us be like that. Let us hold each other. My time is coming. I'm 81 years old. This October I'll be 82. I want to leave everything with my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. This here, that's from Pullman in Tinket. They call us Kaisan dancers. Kaisan is the name. The time they invite the people from all over, they come in there on big canoe. The young man got nothing to wear. That's when you see that raven come. He bring his life, that raven. He grabbed it and tied feet together and put it on. It's all right when he was standing, still sitting there, till he stopped dancing. His wings just hitting around him. But after the dance, he twists the head off. But our people feel bad about it. That's why they fix it for us. This is what I want you to know. Maybe some of you, maybe some of my grandchildren, your roots goes up to Haynes and Chilcoot and Chilcat. Thank you.
I'm going to call just briefly on one of my father's people. You know, this is one of the things that the celebration is all about. And it's really more than just a performing arts. Here's a young lady that's of my father's clan that came down from Whitehorse. She's gone on KD, and she wants to know more about it. I'll let her do all the names. Okay, Sally will give you her last name.
My name is Sally Luchman. My kindred name is Ruby, and I'm from Whitehorse. It's an honor to be here in Juneau and to be able to meet all my newfound relatives. And just recently, about a year ago or so, my family, myself and my children joined a dance group representing the Tlingit Nation in Yukon. And it's really opened the door for us to search for our roots. And coming to Juneau has been the most wonderful experience. It's, I'm sure we're going to go home as different people, taking all the knowledge and learning new songs and new stories. And it's express my great gratitude to all the people. And I'd just like to say, our elders who share so much with us. It's fulfilling great satisfaction as we are in search for our roots and our culture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sally. The next person I'm going to call on is the chairman of the Sealaska Heritage Foundation. And I want everybody to know this one thing that I really appreciate about this person. My father used to talk a lot about this man. And I can't help but get emotional. When I think about my dad and Walter, when we were little kids, my dad had a big house in At.óow, one of the biggest houses in the community. His house burned completely down. And my father had to come. He felt so bad about what happened to his community. So we grew up in a small little house. But as the way our culture is, Walt used to come to my house, my dad's house, and he used to take my father out just for a cup of coffee. My dad really, really, to his dying day, spoke very highly of Walter. Because of that, I personally took Walter to be like my own father. So it's a real privilege. Ross has to share his dad with me. But he comes to my office, I don't know how many times, and he'll give me words of encouragement and counsel. I can't put into words the way this man has helped this shepherd. And it's Chish, Ish, Id Kolaha.
Chish, Katiwan, Yati, Yakineha, Chish, Chakayo, Yati. You come out of Hidi, I took the week in our Kayo, the trees in the sun, down the good. You get carried on the side toward the inside, the coin and the page in the yard. Years ago, when our Indian people had their clan houses, they all had names like a person. This is so-and-so's house, you hit. You get on it. They all had names, the clan houses, just like a person. In June here, there is one house called Tehid, something like the North Star House owned by the Dog Salmon Clan Shenity of June. And so when the people got together, the honored guests always sat like the people are seated here on the platform. This was the place of honor. And I'm happy this morning to be sitting among them, not for what I know of the culture or for who I am, but and he was going to say, my father knows all about the culture. And I said, son, don't write it that way. write it this way. He knows a little bit. Put that in, because I do not know all. In the Chishia Yaga, the two premier, we are Chico has to pay for something. The Cadent Nahaks can here. Ya has to At.óow. Kuna discussaya, Keshku Kako to speak. Three are Kwan on its own, especially capacity. But to Ach or Ha. Kate Hata Ako she hit Ya Juno Ashkasnik, Yatsan Kihinida Ashkasnik. Keshko Yakko to speak. There are many things about Singit life, Singit history, Singit anthropology, Singit myths and legends that have never really been uncovered. And part of it has been opened up today. And how the Singit people speak to each other, thanking each other, respecting each other. In the Singit language, we never use sharp words, or words that are like anything that would harm the next person. It is always the kindly word, the respected word, the pride word that we use toward each other. And I'm hoping that the young people who are interested in the culture of their own people will remember these very important things of the family, the clan life structure, and the tribal life structure. But one step further now, to take you the Shukadi Kawiyasa, Tarnich Abikone, Yakuskea, the Wasa Yaw, Case by a Washko, Pahuchu, Hit, Yakuskea. I'm saying now that I would like us as young people, and I classify myself as a young person, that we need to take one step further, that the older people here will continue to share with us, and they are willing. How will we do this? Each clan, each tribe, clan, Yanasati, Uhanjia Hayaki Ikatu. We as clan people, there are 7, 8, 9, 10 clans in each group, and you will get together on a regular basis and talk to the young people. Tell them the clan history. We heard this morning how the Frog clan became a Kisati emblem. How did the Brown Bear clan become the emblem? The Dog Salmon clan. All the clan emblems, the porpoise, the bear, the shark, the cobra, the humpback salmon, the sockeye. All of the, how did they become a part of our emblem today? Our young people are hungry to learn this. And it will come out when you go back to your hometowns, wherever you are, to meet with your elders and ask them, and have a tape recorder ready. This will be yours, so that as they talk, it will be recorded and you can take it home and listen to it again. And if there's a question, you come back and ask them. And continue your own clan library. Chiwanjia Darikahiha, Ikea Hulke. Ya Hapstida, Hapskru, Hatu Heni Hatu. You want to get lose. You can go for a colleague. The Katya, Oya, Atikis, and the Hayati. Many of the treasures of your clan are in the box, but you need to come to the sparks and learn it and record it. And then when you have children, your children will also hear it. This culture of Alaska is too important to lose, and if we do not work it, we are going to lose it. And I, for one, would say it will never be lost because you have an interest in Earik and Atish. This is the way it is. Thank you very much.
The next person I want to call on is Paul Henry from At.óow. The Ravens, the Eagles started off, and now we're doing all the Ravens that we possibly can. And so, without any further ado, I'll introduce you to Paul Henry. Paul.
She's come. You know, I'd like to explain myself. I belong to the Silver Salmon tribe. We carry the symbol frog, and I'm a raven. The last big potlatch that I ever saw in Yankton was my uncle Max At.óow's finishing of his house. We, as Technichadi, we also claim Mount Fairweather. Mount Fairweather we also claim. And when my uncle gave his potlatch, he named his house Shahid, meaning mountain house. It was named after the Mount Fairweather. And it shows the Earuti for stick. Kon you song and you should take. You should do a song. You are a shaman or Hania. A cock. You are. It's from those people that were alive at that time that the Tlingit legend and heritage and things were being performed in front of us when we were little kids. And it's ever since then that we started learning. But my learning in the Tlingit legends and things was cut off because my mother died in 1918. And my father brought us 3 down. At.óow, you could do a song. I forgot my other names. Sean Kikukish, you should do a song. Yeah, Tom, to tell she, who just saw she does it. Yeah, Sean Kikukish, you should do a say I'll call. Ish to tell you. Ujaya Kadosa, Tip Shah, Tip Hadia de Yakat. I am a child of the Brown Bear clan, Tip Hadia. And it was my grandmother on my father's side that gave me the slave father. It doesn't mean that my clan were made slaves or anything. Telkuch al Bishir, Shaknachati. That's what some people think. Chayu, Rishas, Adiku Kasikia Kauke Yerio, Kosat Shakte, Yasaf Chidalate, Ashif. Achish to touch, Kosran Shakte, Shant to go, Kishu to a son. Yat Toss go, Yanet Kanata Honik, True Jade, a Huni Saint Kitch, a Dr. Tea, Ha, a young Louise, it could. Yeah. Beyond stop citation to do a Pop Harold Buddy Brunner. Enough of caucusity to talk caucusity. She was the daughter of Max Italian Connie. Tafasa kada kaktu shekay ya tachkan kita kayo ari takunat sa khat sike tagad shtuqa kaditi jawan istan kita qad tani Fashir Kalvan Tom Fewsike, after Chan, Harold Brennan. Do you see tea here? Kinder Shishabia Mount St. Lawrence dancers, Yasay Tishabach, Yasay Tishabach, Lefera, you to a South Chicago. She was started to say I think it was back in the 50s, beginning of the 50s, that we started organizing again. Although it was, our Indian dancing was presented during the 1931 NB convention in Yakutat. And even today, some people still mention the Yakutat NB ANS convention, which was a wonderful, wonderful convention. Those years, we were only traveling by steamers. There was no airplane or these people that fly in the air. We were only traveling by steamers. And the Alaska Native Brotherhood made it so that they could be picked up after 1 week. And you know, after the delegates, NBNS delegates were leaving, the town was pretty lonely. I was there, and I was glad that I was there. Got yeah, next at the convention. He does call says they talk about to finish. Yeah, talk. Yeah, talk. Not good, the song. Yeah, talk. Yeah, you know, when people are short and visitors come, you know, although the guests are the Yaktat people, when people come in their canoes, and there's been probably before my time that people from Saxman, from all of southeastern Alaska down around Ketchikan, a lot of people, men, used to come up sea otter hunting. Sea otter in those years, even if you killed one, the person felt rich because the pelts were being bought for $1,000. And those years, $1,000 was a lot of money. Today, the way price of things are going, $1,000 is only probably $100, it seems. When you start spending it, it disappears so fast. Yeah. One fella that's across a good up the town there. I called it Sal Gudial. I can't help who to take. Can't pay no. Can't pay. Today, Can't pay is one of our big artists as far as carving and painting the printed legends and things. He came back and, you know, Kakandakin was a big man. And the Hyasa Pulsitiad, Yusha Kadak, Samaya, Kakandakin. People used to sit there and watch how the clouds and things are developed around the mountain, and they would know what the weather is going to be maybe the following day or maybe this evening. They would know if there was going to be a storm. That's how the name Kakandakin was developed. There were some more names given concerning this mountain. The other day, my friend, Walter Porter, he told me to tell you folks that he's sorry he couldn't make this gathering. He's a pretty busy man, and he's learning a lot about the Tlingit legends and heritage and things. And he's getting into it quite deep. And I'm proud of him. But what I started to tell you was, he came to me, we went on a road. And he says, "You know, Paul?" I said, "No." "My mountain is bigger than yours." "My mountain is bigger than yours. This mountain is Mount St. Elias. Mine is Mount Fairweather." And I said, "Well, that's nothing. My river, Dry Bay, outside is bigger than Kosh." And you know, I'm right in between. I'm right in between. They are Kosh Kapan. But from a long time back, we always called them At.óow, interpreted in English, At.óow, meaning my partner. We learned saying partner quite a bit in Sheldon Jefferson School during my time. And I'd like to leave you with this. Thank you very much.
I know this seems like it's taking a long time, but our heritage and our culture took a long time. It's been a lifetime, thousands of years. I was standing with a lady from the Jewish nation or Hebrew nation, and she was just really all excited about what was taking place. She had tears in her eyes. She said, "This is just something, you know, I never thought I would ever be able to see." And she said, "You know, my father used to tell me a lot that he felt that the Tlingit people, the Haida people, and the Tsimshian people were really one of the lost tribe of Israel." And she said her name was Rocky Plotnik. Her dad was Danny Plotnik, and I believe he held a really important position within this community of Juneau. And I thought it really interesting what another tribe might think of us people being expressed, you know, saying that we were a lost tribe. We're about ready to switch to, I saw Naja and Pat. We have a chair up here for both of you. I'd like to take a brief opportunity. Are you all want to get up and stretch a little bit, and take a break, or if those of you that have other obligations, you know, we appreciate you being here. I don't want to tell you to leave, but you need to do what you got to do. So we really appreciate you being here this morning, and we still have our Eagle brothers over here. Katie, I think that's what I heard people say, so we're going to go ahead and do that. She should take a little break. Pretty hard to get those eagles out of the desk over there. Before we go on to the next portion of our program, I want to say something about a young man who wants to introduce another person. I think his name has been brought up from time to time. But this person here, and I don't want to overemphasize something here, but I really need to make reference to this. because this is the way our culture has been and always will be, was that when we saw someone who was really interested in the heritage and the culture of our people, we encouraged them by complimenting them, by acknowledging what they're doing, acknowledging what their efforts are. And this young man that I'd like to introduce to you today, the Kiksadi hat was out here earlier, and I remember this was one of the first things the foundation was involved in. But I remember getting a telephone call from this young person who told me about a hat that was in New York, in Sotheby's of New York, that it was going to be auctioned off, and that wanted to know whether the Heritage Foundation might be able to do something to help us return this hat back to New York and to its rightful place. And so, because he alerted me to this, and really because we were just new and we had a little more money than what we've had over the past 10 years or whatever, we were able to help and bring together the Lincoln Heights Central Council, the Alaska State Museum, and the Sealaska Heritage Foundation, and very uniquely the family to be involved in bringing the hat back into the community. And the person that I'm going to introduce you to right now is Harold Jacobs. Could you come on up? He's going to introduce somebody else. And for those ravens that came a little later, we're going to go ahead and give you the time. So don't worry. We've only been an hour and 19 minutes. This is pretty good. Because that one blanket story that came out, we could have been still talking about it. So it isn't going as slow as it might seem. To the contrary, it's going really fast. Maybe a little bit too fast. Harold?
We're seeing these, first of all, I'll say what I said. I acknowledged the elders from the opposite side here. This is the proper way things are being done this morning, as the clans telling their own histories. Someone from another clan doesn't tell the history from a clan or an object that doesn't belong to them. You can see them telling stories that come from their clan. I heard Dave make mention earlier of this shirt, and he asked, please don't copy it, it belongs to their clan. You don't copy things from other clans if you don't get permission from them. That goes not only for hats, but for songs as well. When I was walking around out here, I saw 2 crest hats that were copied from another clan, and it didn't belong to that clan. One of the hats was copied from the Kagwantan, and it came from the family of At.óow, At.óow, and Richard King. At.óow. There was a lot of bloodshed over that hat, but not that day. And it's still a touchy subject to them. I was given the opportunity to write some articles for a museum on the artifacts they had down there. And a lot of the comments that they had were made by anthropologists. And instead of asking story was. They assumed what the crests were on there. Double-headed raven, they said, oh, this must have been adopted from the Russian double-headed eagle. There's a story from that, for that double-headed raven. I can't tell it, that one belongs to the day sheet on. Lydia George, who's just sitting there, she knows the story. I told in the papers, instead of making assumptions on what these things are, ask the people who know, and here's some of the people who know what the history is, right here. So, I am Yanyedi again. Ushkitan, Yanyedi, Tatehayati, Vastashabun. The Ushkitan and Yanyedi have the same origins. Before I introduce the next person, Mrs. Cassie said some of the people trace their histories to Plakwan. I'm not going to go through my mother's side as is usual, the Yanyedi. My grandfather was Shangukedi. His name was Yanda Young. He was married to Bipinakid. Now, Akshakun Sai, Ganashkat, Aku. My ancestor's namesake, Ganashkat, is Wushkitan, the last surviving member of his particular tribe at Clan House. He's going to do some talking on the wolf head that's out on the table. Or something else. But that's cheese.
Aki pojatsa, anna tuli finished tuli again. Kun se tehdään kannastunnikat, täytyy kukeja vahossa, kun täytyy pikataan tehosta jees. Kun täytyy ahti kaakka vakuuksani. Kun näkastu peikko saa, täytyy ei kekinnähti jeuteen. Akka ajatus tiinaa, nakka ajankorkut. Taas on kahot päihuun, se jättunut taatat. Iinka kosanik, akkana jakat. Näitin tue ja kutsuteen. Ja kun täytyy saada kiikkohas, kiitot. Ja kuntat huokau hajoa jäjätään. Jeeska kanaa kiikkohas. Ja kuntat reilostaa nyt kiitot hänne. Huutsoo kiikkohas reina kaastaa eivottetaan. Aateinuskas lakki ja kauan heidän nakkitaan. Akka ei takinneppistä aas. Takasattuu ennöt haastaa jokota tankea. Nyt kiikkohasaa tekee kai ei nähdukka tankea. Täytyy osata sulle steekso tiedukka tankicaa ei panjeneika. Iätä kajutui tan. Taas on joka tankea. Jääkattu tiin. Ja ihkintä teille ja takat kateet kun täykätkö siirka. Siirka. Se on täykätiin katsuu vuotea. I feel good. Haskatus kuujawa. Ajawa. Ahtumaasa kuun. Jäitä. Just nakoniga kawan itu kukka besok tu. Tak kukka. Ya ini tak khasronika. Saya dihenika. Khana fasak isko has. Ye public style pada tanke. Tega ena kawani ku nasaha tu atin dekasati ye. Wasa tu titi ha. Aina tästä tuossa sen buketeen. Kun sahatua tekoa ei tuossa sen buketeen. Käänkossa kun nyt ja jatkossa naas ja tekaa. Ja kaakumatit ahtuu tuossa kuun jaksin ja tekosaahteen. Hasassa kuun nasa haakaskautta jääjään. Ja hyvin siitä kautia joku. Yksi kauan niin sypona keammuksella huom. Joka ja kaidus. Keammuksella huom. Ja moni ne. Ajoe haat. Hatstuu huom. Kinnetu haasaktettu jilt. Kattu siitä. Jattuu koko jattuu tiedä, muista kahdeksan tuosta. Ojakaan maassa kun tuossa saa päivittää vuosi, kun se kautua tekee. Aua, ajaajaa. Aja. Vaana niin soittua vaan. Saanko teille? Jää on kauan. Kuk. Kuk. Te aue. Aue. Ja kutsuja. Te. Tää teidän kaupunkia. Annestustuun. Siis hakkaaletu pilpin. Siis. Ja prejatakis. Te katsoetu pilpin ja tu pilpin. أشوف أتعوى تخلصتي أنا تاكو دياري جهلت حصل سيكون جهلت سيكون تاكو دوسان يا كتير قفت الموجين ست كام يدوسان يا ست أكتر وعليها ده تصايف وتدشي ست كام يا تقوي ده صار مستوي حسبتو تكفت هذا كان بيان صار ستة تكفت يا دوش نخاكو ذريه يا ده يا تتفقد صاحب يشكون يا ده كسفته هذا ينسقطيه شنو فيديو استسراق يبقى كابيتال تريد هيت فيديو دوسا يتعقشك أي دقوة أدنى أبت لكن تنيك وكيكوت خانا ده يأتوني أيام سقط ساقط خرجنيه أقاوه ويدكوني سوى أعطيانا كنت خانا كنت تنيريو أيقنكت أكيد كنت وتعصي يفتغد تسيب هنا يا أجاك قوتبن وجبار بدت هنا كنت ايوه تاخوه تاخذ حياه النقطه ايوه تاخذ لي يعني كنت ايوه ينتظرون بوجهي سيد في كتوات كنت تاخذ ايوه تاخ شو ام يقصدي ايوه تاخذ او سيادة سكة وتقع كانوا قالوا جاهوا تجسكوا بشوف أسكت أسكين خسكت صعب سكت وقانا خليا خلقا تفتحوا فيك أنكش كندو كندا كوش أقاوة أتدوكو تقا زينك تطيج يتدوكو أنا نقل تقلج يا هيكت يا تابع يا خسنتيف يقاوة توات جاشوا يكفيت كوستوا أقتشف بسانة يزيد قويش فضلي بيدك قدام فن دايتي تم قاوة أقاوة كيس بيدوا يكيانا خلقوزة تويا وطن تشوفه تودوا أشتغلتن يركضوا كان بالنود تكام تشهد تثبتوا يوتا أقاوان يقصديات خاقاي وصا يوتا خاقاي وصا ياك خلقي توتن ويدين لأخذنا بجوتها أقاوي وتحاولوا أرجون أشهد وكنت خام أقاش دعكا خصيكم أخون قصتي يجدين وكاشوته قاعدة خد سيخويا وصوات خام أخرفت الأول يبسطينه يا إلى وقتو ديتيات أخذت كده تاني كل شخصي هيد تدريج أجدنا خدرية يقول شكالة صاق يا أجوا يوم كسرخون دخ جيان سكت فنا عادك كسرنديك هنا داخل خطينا يا هاي Ach, luge hastu taas katni ja Afrika has chalus chahatus sikha ja kun taus ja tuote ja sakwe keta hanak ja Afrika has ja wanna nisa ja Aten kanta kantena Afrika hasrejt tusen da sautie Hij dacht speak gaat general gaat de gaat de al zag zoals je zag gaan ja wat het de has gedaan de gaat heen de gaai has het ja tak on ja How they hin how come up to a big I know that number two hin I know that to hin I know that to what machine ya hin how they all have to spare I know na kawan I talk by our kitchen I tell ya so God that put it on ja, dat soort dingen. Zo, dat je echt wel goed. Zo, jongen, goed de hand op schrift. Dat schrift, zaaien. Dat ga je, als de tjuro wel goed. Dat je dan ook de tegen goed, zo. Aku buat het hier. Aku buat zo. Aku dat goed. Ja, dat Even dat goed in nou dat kan misschien nou in de pauze bedoel dat je heel nog alle people als het ziet die nu daar het is dat je het nog wat in dat goed zien dat je het goed in je gaat over die het dat zie je heel dat goed is dat je gaat dat is zo het is hard maar je gaat het maar dat je wel weet dat ja je dat altijd je hak die ja dat kan niet ja ja that much time I have sit outside talking about the yeah actually
I'm going to be just a little brief. I would like to say this for your own information. This is our original At.óow. The owner of it, the person, there's a story behind it, and also a song. Just caught the tables because I caught the hot door side. Yeah, hot the gas. A she had you was at tea to need Pakayonia at to say a yato. When the streets are put a dime of patantas at your eyes, caught the sunny. Trahan Hashkasni, between the player. Yeah, Wahaya to Augustine, which is dust for after the Savior should be at so much you will. We have a story to go with the eagle path. It was an eagle spirit, our spiritual man. It led our people to Cheshpat, we call it today. This is why we make our ancestors, not me, our old people had At.óow was our spiritual man, the one that was here when the white people came. We have a song to go with it, and also it's considered a boat song. We were traveling a long way, so I'm going to teach. And also, I didn't have time to talk about the Thunderbird. We have a song and a story to go with it. We brought the blanket, like my brother George Jim said, we don't have enough time, so I'm going to teach. There are other artifacts, At.óow, which means we have a story to go with it. It belongs to our family, our clan.
Okay, it's 11:49. We've been going for almost, I don't know, over 2 hours. 2 hours and some odd minutes here, and the time is running out. We have other places like over in the Armory that we might be able to continue this kind of work. Also, at the very same time, we have this the Hammond room. It's called the Hammond room over here in the corner. That you can still do this type of thing. The plant can actually take the time to bring the At.óow out there. What we hope is just kind of give just a little brief view of that. Then you can go to the plant workshop, take the room, take the whole hour, whatever it is, to get your story at. So that's what we're attempting to do here. Let's see. I'll call on slide Peck right now.
Chișea, iată că de hohosta să aia până cașițin, care au de iche, iar că ichăște să vade. Ja ka aia și năki. Okei, ataia shakun nach adeya kutayaye. Aia tuetiin kohoniki. Sakat shedi ene as testatisko. Siinä ei tiedä, aataja poissaa. Aja, auski jäjäti. Kiksati aja siis kohositi. Nau jees nyt saakan shiitkaan. Shiitkaa teijä kikos. Auski Kahati ja hoste, hoste. Sakati ja kuuspast. Sekka händelsestä saatiin ja kahati ja nekin harrastettiin. Kannattaa siellä ajaa kenkäpikata ja ajaa hiitata ja ajattelua. Kohteen ajaa sattuu viisi. Ja maata tämä on tehty. Tunnut faani ajajäjäti. Shakun ja was education. Ish. Siinä ei lihusti tsilkaa kryydä saakon. Du ish was. Vuskitaan positiivisesti. Atka hak hejek ja jakieś nadpeczkane łasa, a wszystko bliźniana. Uśki fantasy. Atka hak a ja hadruho se lihatemse chreja usti ja tunka, ja silka bliźniana. Veja huča leja saa. Akşam çok akıl şey yaşaman evliya da sağlam iş. Acaya ya hacı doktor korkuş bir anda çantası. Sane anahmas kiksati tuuteeksi kastii. Now ye kiksati. Shiksa shifin meiva. Shiksa shifin. Sviivata ea kashi. Vahneeks keisa shikashi. Now ye kashi. Aksa kaeti yipesaamen. Akishkotsin kaa. Ja kiksati tuunah aja kadeedik te kwastakaade. Astushkas leke ade utiya. Rutsaguya ute. Saguya akashu. Akashu. Sai. Asteen sydämen ruutuanen sai sitten iskru asetaan kennesuussa aati kun ahtakan sanik pakan raakoksati ei ja vaasituja ei jaksa kai kun ei jaksa kruo ja tehdään ei liikaa ei kannata meikin ahstee aadestiin ja kei aja käsiässä aja ja kukkaa ja haluaa ja kaikkea ja kaikkeksi kausi tästä aja asaa jossakin senkin kun ahtakan pilkkokaa haakoisetkin se akatana kun chiisejä Atsu, I acknowledge the invitation that has been given to us to be here. It is itself, the invitation itself is an honor for my wife and I just to be brought up. To come before you to tell some of the histories that we have uncovered. I spent all my life in research of our people. From whence do they come? Where did you come from? Where did I come from? In migration, they've always mentioned the interior, but certainly, if we try to find our way of life, where did we come from? Tlingit, the Tlingit nation. A mighty nation it was. And while anthropologists, I would like to lift the lid off of this, Mr. Sherman of our movement here, David. I would like to mention some of the points that I have come across that is really amazing. And what I have read in regards to anthropological writings, they claim that the Tlingit nation was one of the most smartest nations in the world. That the scientists have uncovered many things, like for instance, technically speaking, what they're up against, what I have uncovered. The three wise men that you hear about in the Bible, where did they come from? They appeared out of the dark. And when they got through, they were learned men. They knew the stars. They knew why the star appeared. And so they followed the star to where our Savior that we worship now lies. Yeah. Where did they come from? They came out of the dark and they disappeared. And my son just showed me a book that he did some illustration work on that told of our legend. How, and I heard this when I was a very young man.
the snow-haired men told the story about how they prepared to go and visit a born child. And they took gifts like what they have over there to the Christ child. So from that findings, I say, could it be us that appeared from the dark, that came to worship and disappeared into the dark? That was the painted nation. None of the learned men has ever come across and contradict and say, no, it isn't true, because here are some facts about those life, you know. So, something to think about. So the migration, let me come to the migration. What I have uncovered. The Bible relates about to one flood, Noah's flood. Noah became the star of that sea. But as I talk to men like these men sitting over here in the learned, snow-haired men, when I discuss the flood to them, say yes, we know. They have reported that there was 2 floods. Yeah. And I've talked to some of the old men who said that there's a high mountain in Chichikov that shows rocks piled around the edge of the peak to protect themselves from the wild animals that swam to land. The rocks are still there, and then on the top of one peak there is a coil of ropes you put your hand in like powder, but it lays an impression of a coil of ropes. How did they do it? And why did they have it up there? Which indicate that confirms the historical statements of our ancient people. 2 floods. So I thought that for a while, and I've been trying to bend my theory that when the flood came, I got this from one of the snow-haired men, saying that his findings, he knows the legends, the stories that told him, that when the floods came in the Holy Land, everybody took to the pieces that would float. They took to the boats. They took to anything that has buoyancy to hang on. And they drifted. And when the tide receded, there they were. There they were. I tried to put it all together in one center of the interior, where we migrated to the sea. But it didn't work out. I asked my father, where did you come from? He said, Whitewater Bay. Where did you come from before Whitewater Bay? He said, that's where God created us, Whitewater Bay. We didn't come from nowhere. That tells me something, that you're following me. So, Shango-Kedi, we were migrated down the Takto River. That's how we did. Migrated down the King River. And those 2 little old ladies that I mentioned to you, what was their name? Yaktushik, one of them. Their names. There was one staying here on your relations, and one of your father's people's relations. I was taken the ship. Those were the 2 that migrated down, indicated that they came on the King River. Now, closing, my stomach tells me to close my tongue. They say that the red cedar wood, redwood in the west coast, Prince of Wales Island, is a grandchild of the humanity. They say that the redwood is a grandchild of humanity. I know my wife will forgive me for taking all of her time. She's got something to present to the two of us at the time of compromise. Why? Grandchild of humanity. A very, very strong, healthy leader at a daughter became pregnant. And when she conceived, it was a branch. It was a branch. So the father calls the uncle the girl. Look what your niece has produced. What you're going to do. He took it and saw his nephews, who could Sealaska fulfill. That funny was a few shot got so too enough. Was it for Smith? The uncle called his nephews, said, how are we going to treat this? Your sister conceived a branch. Rather unusual for a child, isn't it? And there were little fellow like just one over there, like playing around by the door, making all the noise. And the uncle says, hey, my nephew, bring the boy over there. Bring him here. Brought him here. Why aren't you concerned with such a problem before our family, and you're making so much noise? We're trying to concentrate. Well, the little fellow was smart thing. This is an Indian speaking point used. I'm translating it to you. Now that's a hegugeya, shikin. And a little fellow, dude. What's it your case? Cover that place. I'm not forgotten something. The Elchka. They are is come. The go, yeah, go, talk, go, and I come. I went. I'll come to say, so you get a talk. How I is not cheap at all. If I took the key, is a hook, sing it, share, teach, send it, but some house at here. At Joe, cake, about only a year or two, this is how it yet not teach. Yachatina. A shuni on a cochon. As the Karago was shot the Rucho, Achael or Hassan Spinch. They say that the red cedar tree is a grandchild of humanity because when you chop it, the wood is red. It's like human blood. That's the evidence they use. And so when the storm comes, when the tree is grown, it creates shelter. So when the human family with you. We looked for a place dry, and at the foot of that tree would be just as pick it up dry. Even if the rain is pouring, man finds shelter at the foot of this red cedar tree. Because that tree is protecting its grandson. Yeah. All of you. Be on the other existe for us. Existe. Aí eu caio a prisa nem vem a justiça. E é a teoria satan. E é aí a eu fanhang. Så att jag kommer att ha kallat precis att det chans. A great relationship. This is what we're moving, and let us not do it. Yes, let us not do it. Let us preserve our culture. From the cheese oil. From the cheese oil. Yeah.
Say words like that. How can you respond? Words that you spoke are really like oil to the wounds. The deep meaning that it has for us. You know, it wasn't very long ago, and I worked for the Department of Education. I was just a mail boy in the department, and I remember I was getting tired of carrying the mail around with this one person. Run here, run there, run there, run over there, do this, do that. And I was doing it. He came up to me and he called me aside and take a drink of water. Called me over. And he said, I can see the work that you're doing. I was just carrying the mail around. For us, they get people in the way, it's a pretty big business that days. And he said to me, I'll always remember it. He said, you know, I see you getting tired a little bit, the way you're being told to handle this, because we moved big boxes with a lot of books in them. And he said, I can see you're getting tired, but I think if you just stick with it just a little bit longer, you're going to see what it will do for you. Here he is 30 years later. It's when I first graduated from the Juneau Douglas High School here. I went to work for the Department of Education. This man gave me those words, and I couldn't help getting emotional as he was telling the story of encouragement to us today, not just me, but to us. And that's the tradition and the custom of our culture, of our heritage. And I know, sure, we can go and run and eat, but you know, I don't see any problem if you want to take a break, fine. But at the same time, you know, if you still have some men over here, I see Richard shaking, I see Naja. I'm going to go ahead and give Naja a brief time, and then right after that will be Mark Jacobs. So, and I see Richard shaking. Oh, okay, all right.
Natürlich Tuscan Kaya in Whitewater. And one of our gang was married to a Indian hider. That's why we got into Angoon. We used to stay in Whitewater in a Tuscan Kaya. So I let them know, some of them are who are we. They came from the Tuscan. They used to be our land is where we used to come from. Here, how we came. That's how we got into Angoon. One of our relations married to a hider. Her name was Kasi. She had a pet, a seagull. When she got married, the hook case would be cut and go to the would say. And the fish will have to get the car. Yeah, how is the heck now? So they can stay in the middle of the space and going on carpet. That's the way they called our house on carpet. We used to stay in Yamsuni. That's how we got into Angoon. After we come up from Florida, they sit the seagull. They follow the seagull up from up there. In her honey, and play eyes, on game of the Antonita. They all sneak up who they are.
I think our MC went down for lunch. I don't see him around. First, I'd like to speak in the English language. I see some of these artifacts that are laying here. An eagle hat that is pegged with here. At.óow, G-E-K-I-S. At.óow made that hat. I would also want to make references to the broadcast. I'll explain on how I could talk about it a little bit. It's a very, very old hat. When I went on the auction block in New York, my son was very instrumental in getting the rightful owners involved in it. The state of Alaska and Sealaska and Klingenheide participation was able to get the hat back. You'll notice that when close to the edge. That hat there must have bodyguards. It's a very, very old hat. You'll notice they got up and they moved it back so that it doesn't fall off that table. It's so valuable, it's irreplaceable. I do want to say that through my father's side, my father is Deshi Tom from Angoon. I come from a Kiloway house, Key Pit. I'm the elder in Key Pit right now. But I want to say through my grandparents, on our trade, and my dad, it's only that son. That's why I'm saying something about that hat. I am also Kiksali Dashkan. I'm going to speak a little bit of Klekek. Chadeh Kanai Ujiyat, Akatio, Afik Hawas, Asanehas, Akatas, Akwa Kikwas of the day, the Chamas of the Chankams of the day. She's coming at the what? I'm going to close I'm going to find. They see Tana, they that's how I get. He did the economy. They talk to us in George Lewis. At.óow han. Naski kate ati ayek angon kitet kito kohet ataya nas naket nak kito siya takwan kitko sihet atwas ko ewa sihet chakta kesitin Kit Kwasha. Kati Tananat, the Akit, who shook holes again, and found that. No, Kat, Kati Dagel sit up. It does, Kat. The car take us at the day. To each, but there was a few, let's call it a Kit Kwasha. Here's who dear. The take a Kachaka into get. That is no cost. I'm going to switch again to my English language. These regalias that you see here, as you can understand, even though the language is very much abbreviated, it has a gold mine of history, each one of them. You can talk all the night about it and still not cover it. This is our system of keeping our culture alive. The only way we can claim right to it is to give a potlatch. A potlatch is an Indian form of a probate system. I encountered that when the Bureau of Indian Affairs was probating the Kiloway house to the wrong clan. If it wasn't for my action, the Kiloway house would have went to someone else. This is the way we've been treated by the Bureau of Indian Affairs. So many of our clan houses went to the wrong person, utilizing state laws of probate to to transfer those houses. Toate lucrurile ce știu eu sau care, iar te ăștia știe, ușa e tăneță, ușa ca și eu. Că te-ai nu te scălua, și te utriuc te nu ca ea că-i te faci. Aceea că le ce știe ca I want to thank you for this time. I think this is a very wonderful opportunity to talk about these things, but the biggest problem is the time. Thank you.
We still have some time. A couple of the groups back today, we're going to be able to give you a little more time because there were a couple of groups that were going to perform this afternoon that are not going to perform. So you'll be able to get off a little bit earlier this afternoon and maybe visit with one another. So we have the time, I think it would be remiss of us if we lose, like an opportunity to have Rich and Shakley come and share with us, just even if it's just a greeting, whatever you want to say, Uncle, go ahead and take the time. Chief.
Dave. Got your old timers. What the good cut this eye here? I checked in yesterday. Now I'm going to swing back and forth the way. They're pretty rare, this kind of people that's sitting over here now. So they're all gone. My name is Richard Shakley. Second name, Giyet, a 10-town tribe from Huna. All my tribes are gone now. But there's a lot of young things I'm growing up in Huna. Oh, bunch of them. Now I gotta teach them all about the rules of the native culture, and we're doing that now in Huna. One thing they can't forget is that when they get, I always tell them, when you decide to get married, don't marry you. If you're an eagle, don't marry an eagle. You have to get rid of a raven tribe. So, up to now, they're, by God, they're really playing it. They honor it. Even the quarter breeds. Quarter breeds or half breeds don't speak Tlingit. They honor it. Well, I got away from it. Time is short now, so I got to let that go. I brought two raven hats. Montreal weather hat, wolf hat, dog. It's a wolf hat, but it turned to be a dog. The story about that, that's going to come later on. It's way later on, maybe 2 years from now. Story about it. And they call it the Congate in Tlingit. I'm going too fast. The other one is Montreal weather, lady hat, spiritual hats. And my neighbor's got a building someplace. They got behind their car someplace. I think they went to work with it. There's a bunch of displayed over there. But anyway, you'll see sometime. So, I brought that over. I was going to talk about that, but as the folks say, this is kind of short. I just want to say thank you to this group of people that we have sitting around too. I Thank you very much.
Chief. George.
I am very fortunate to be able to partake of this event, because for a long time I've been kept blind to it due to the change of education and the white man's way. A lot of other things enter into it. But I'm really thankful to Christianity, because what I learned from Christianity is what my elders are expressing now. That is the true stem of our culture. Peter Simpson used to tell me, George, one of these days you're going to come across the fact that you don't come from Alaska, that you come from somewhere else in the world. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but just before I die, I hope I can tell you a few facts about where we really came from. And I agree with Brother Cy Peck and our host here and her son about the Chungukedi tribe. I believe those things all the time, but somehow where I was raised in Sitka, they had other names for different things. And that was due to the transformation of our culture. How it came about is another, a horse of a different color. I believe that my eyes have been opened, and from this day on, I shall be more cooperative with my relatives.
This is just really also an opportunity for us to introduce different people. It would be wrong for us because what's happening right here is kind of a spontaneous thing in my opinion. This woman here is probably one of the greatest jukeboxes I've ever heard, and we're really proud of her. Not only that, she also knows the history of her clan of Glacier Bay real well. And so without anything else, I want to introduce to you Amy Marvin. And my mom will interpret a little bit
for her to see.
Thank you very much that I am also called to come up here. I am Shukran Shah from Pune. As a time I was a little girl, I was towards my culture. At this time, I really appreciate this opportunity. I have a lot of grandchildren that will hear me. I appreciate my life today, that I am here for my grandchildren. The Lord has given me this time to live this long, so I really appreciate my life. She said she has told her story in many places. She mentioned Bartlett, Cove, and also here in Juneau when she was asked about the Glacier Bay, how the glacier, when the glacier started to go move them to the area where she is. And she said she has grown up in camps. There was no TV or radio during this time. And because she has listened to her grandfather, she has lived to be 80 years old this past May, was her birthday. She turned 80, and she said that she was very appreciative of the stories that were told to her, and she has told it in many places. When they asked her, she tells them. It's a long story. They have come a long way. There's also another statement she made. When the glacier began to grow out, and when they were leaving their land, they had composed a song. Before they left the area, there was a song, and when they went by the island there, I can't get to my mind that's the name of it. When they were, whose name? As they were coming close from the Glacier Bay area, when they were coming out, right as they were right out from that island, they started another song. Another song was composed. So they have two songs about what happened to her maternal uncle as they composed the song.
Washington, D.C.
Has not been untrue. It has been printed down from her stories. There's a copy of it, the two songs
porque vas a share at the end. Lawyer, you go on a look at these things, I mean, such a program.
She is very thankful that she has been asked to come up here, and this is all she's going to say. She said, I don't know what is wrong with me. When I'm speaking with a lawyer, though, I start speaking English to them.